Yeah, measurement has been changing a ton, and as we've moved to full funnel video, so that means cross screen, so television, CTV, online video, everything in between, clients want to have a better understanding of how their investment is tracking back to a business outcome. That is quite difficult when you start moving across channel, across device. And as we're seeing things evolve, it's giving us more insight into behaviors taken, what consumers are doing once they see our ad, but it's not yet available to really be one measurement currency across all devices that we can really activate fluidly. So we're doing a lot of work, as is all of the industry, on looking at what partners are going to be able to do that in the future. How do we bring these things together? How do we bring a holistic measurement campaign to our clients versus stitching different partners together? And that is probably one of the biggest topics that we're talking about with clients today, because it's critically important that we get the measurement right. But I think we are on a path to that. I don't think that there's anything emerging right now yet that is going to be the leader on solving that problem overall.
So what are you finding some of the most useful data sets that are available or that you would like to have available?
I mean, a lot of what we're looking at is obviously ID-based data sets. Everyone talks about the death of the cookie and that is coming, so it's very important that we look at ID-based data that's getting closer and closer in on the consumer and helping us understand that. So we're looking very closely at that, where we can get a more accurate picture of the consumer. And then any way that we can couple that with any data that the client has to, again, just be more accurate and more precise, while still being able to drive some level of scale that we need.
So what about performance and measuring performance and outcome? We hear a lot about that. Where do things stand, and what is sort of the state of performance, outcome measurement?
So when we look at outcome measurement, it's dependent on client and category, because really, we've talked about this a lot in the agency, that people start with how do you measure and what do you measure, and it really starts with the KPI setting of what matters to your brand, what drives your business, what's the outcome that you want to drive that will actually mean incremental profits and incremental business for our clients. And that KPI setting is actually the first step and the most important step before we even get to like a measurement partner or a measurement schematic or a measurement plan. So I will say that like right now what we've been focused on a lot is KPI setting, while we're testing all the different measurement pieces that could actually help us understand whether that KPI is met. But based on client and category, that KPI could be very different. So that measurement plan is going to look very different based on the type of client that it is and how close into their sale can we actually measure.
Shelby, finally, tell us about video investment, and it's just changing so much, and now we hear about TikTok and other, like how does sort of, and not one size fits all, but how is video investment changing?
I think it's the best time to be in investment and to actually be someone who looks at the video landscape, because the opportunities to find places that are wonderful and quality and connected to the consumer, finding those places to put the client's dollars, there's just more than ever. So to some degree, there's more competition, which makes it a little harder. It's more fragmentation, so it's a little harder for us to understand where the consumer is. But the amount of content available to the consumer that we can put an ad as a part of is incredibly vast at this point, which is really exciting. So number one is we're seeing CTV increase, and we're seeing things become more ad supported, and we're seeing a healthier ad ecosystem on digital television being delivered to the TV set in the home. That's really exciting. And then we see companies like a TikTok, as you mentioned, move really to the entertainment space. And so they're really looking as another entertainment platform. And that's really interesting to look at how consumers are using the small screen with sound on in a scroll to actually get continuous entertainment delivered directly to them. It's just a really interesting time to try to understand that landscape, but also to see all the opportunities to be able to look at a consumer and really understand what they care about and find ways to reach them that are not just in one way, which is the television set or digital video or whatnot, that there's really a vast ways that you can get to them.